policy from the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing from December 2015 is now requiring all future teachers to attain knowledge, awareness, and understanding for working with students with disabilities. This means student teachers will receive training that will strengthen their skills in being more effective with students with disabilities in a general education classroom. This policy changes the previous requirements that had no training in these areas unless you were a special ed teacher. California has mostly kept the two credential programs separate, and therefore teachers have little to no knowledge of each other's practices, strategies, and techniques. The U.S. Department of Ed demanded change to create more inclusive settings and to enhance the amount of time special ed students spend in general ed classrooms. The CTC stated all potential teachers are required to gain knowledge of techniques and methods proven to foster the success of students with disabilities. Students with disabilities are diverse learners. The rationale of this policy is to ensure California students with disabilities are learning and achieving to their full potential like their peers in other states. Small group instruction, behavior and conduct management, and utilizing frequent informal assessments to identify and address learning gaps will create more successful learners. The teacher training program in California divides the general and special ed programs, and the same disconnection exists in the school setting. California must break down divisions that exist by creating a coherent, results-oriented system that provides for the learning needs of all students. This separation has been ineffective in facilitating learning for students with disabilities. California's education achievement levels of students with disabilities are among the lowest in the nation, which proves the current system, which utilizes separation, is extremely ineffective for student learning. Some controversial aspects. Our current teachers need to develop the knowledge and skills they did not obtain when they earned their credentials, and current teachers are resistant to working with students with disabilities. Assessment and differentiation between second language acquisition and disabilities, as well as the provision of linguistically and culturally responsive pedagogy in order to reduce the imbalance of English learners and students of color who are inappropriately designated to receive special education services. Teachers need to learn strategies in UDL. And another controversial aspect is that many current teachers are resistant to having students with disabilities in their classroom. Some teachers think it is too much extra work. Others don't feel equipped to work with students with disabilities, and others are just apprehensive because they need guidance and support to really be effective in working with diverse students. California currently lacks any effective mechanism and support for teachers and administrators to learn about quality instruction and how to deliver it. The best way to achieve effective support for teachers is job-embedded coaching, mentoring, and ongoing support, which create conditions for lasting change and improvement in educational practice. 90% of learners will succeed in transferring a new skill into their practice if a combination of theory, demonstration, practice, and corrective feedback is provided in a training, but only when it is also followed up with job-embedded coaching. The ideology behind the new policy suggests that teachers work collectively in an inclusive setting more productively because both teacher certifications will include general and special ed elements, training, and practice to ensure teachers work more cohesively to achieve student success. The goal of education is for students to learn. Teaching must evolve to meet the needs of our current diverse learners by providing all students access to the curriculum, by delivering the information, assessing their learning, and supporting students in a variety of methods and approaches. All children benefit from inclusive schools. Education is enhanced when we learn together, and that is why the journey to becoming an inclusive school is essential. We can strengthen our school community while supporting all learners. In order to be successful, we need to build an environment where every student has the opportunity to reach their full potential and flourish. The recommendations to improve and further develop this policy include implementing the changes into current teacher training programs and into all schools to reach the current teachers. A significant omission is current teachers also need to be included in order to have the knowledge, understanding, awareness, and skills to better teach all learners. The impact on students and the school community is still in development because the effects of the additional training have not really reached the classrooms yet. Educators need to begin making our schools inclusive environments in order to really meet the needs of all learners. All children benefit from inclusive schools. Education is enhanced when we learn together, and that is why the journey to becoming inclusive schools is essential.
Created using Powtoon.